Well, hello everybody, my YouTube family. Thank you so much for coming on over. Boy, do I have an epic video for you today. I think this is going to be a very powerful video and a very, very important video. And I hope you guys will agree when we're done. But before we continue, again, I want to extend my sincere gratitude for all my present subscribers, people that have come on over and subscribed. Thank you for all the thumbs up, all the wonderful comments. Even some bad comments sometimes. I could take the criticism, but there's been a lot of positive comments too. So I appreciate the engagement whenever you leave me comments, everybody. And people new to my channel, welcome. Again, if you enjoy my videos, I hope you'll subscribe too. Give me the thumbs up, good for the algorithms. And again, feel free to share my videos and leave a comment. I'm a hardcore researcher, particularly when it comes to the Real Secret Space Program. But today we're going to expose somebody. Of course, it's Jason Cosmic, RSSP Authority. RSSP stands for Real Secret Space Program. So let's get into it. Who am I going to expose today, my friends? If you guys have watched some of my past videos, I show you the importance of shunning the dirty players. Some of the CIA puppets, for example, that are out there. Guys, because it's all about how do we grow a culture and society to sustain ethical leadership, right? Most of us want that. Well, to do it, we have got to show the crowd the dirty player. You see, my friends, if you're an ethical leader and you're competing against an unethical leader, right? Well, you're going to be in a prisoner's dilemma, particularly when an unethical leader can kill with impunity and reward richly, right? Because a significant part of the population, not all, but a significant part of the population will always follow an unethical leader that can reward richly, okay? However, here's the good news, my friends. If you're an ethical leader and you can show the crowd the dirty player, then the ethical leader will always win, my friends. John F. Kennedy was an amazing, powerful, ethical leader, as you guys know, right? And so this is so important, and this is why I do my videos and do what I do. This is partly why, my friends. And here's another, I believe this guy, obviously he doesn't directly work with the CIA, but he might as well. And it all has to do with his corporate cronies as well. We'll get into more of the corporation aspect. Who is it? Well, look at this beautiful man. Oh, look at that smile. Hardly. Bill Gates, my friends. That's right, Bill Gates. Millions of people have seen right through this guy and know that he's up to no good. Know that he's evil. That he's basically sold his soul, my friends. And he's chosen. This is a choice that this asshole's making. Excuse my language, my friend. I mean, come on. Pushing global vaccines? I mean, I could talk for hours on Gates, my friends. This is going to be the first video. Hopefully we're going to do more on this guy. So he's pushing, it's all about vaccines, vaccines, vaccines. I mean, who does this? First of all, my friends, who does this? You know, I get so exasperated, my friends, because this guy, and we all know there's so many injuries with vaccines, and we'll get into that, my friends. But this guy, he's got patents on viruses. He's got patents on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 viruses. Are you kidding me? Well, why does anybody have patents on viruses, my friends? Right? I mean, it's just wild. And of course, he has no medical authority, right? He tries to come off as this some sort of authority figure on vaccines, on our health. The guy has no biology degree, no scientific background, right? He wouldn't know research if it bit him on the ass. But he's putting all this money into research and into all these vaccines and not just vaccines, of course, but we all know IG 2020, right? His whole goal and his corporate cronies is to microchip us, right? For surveillance. That's exactly what it is, my friends. And it all comes down to money. This greedy, misanthropic money whore, because that's exactly what Gates is, guys. It's all about his corporate ethos. The CIA and the corporations behind the curtains, my friends, he's just used as a commercial dangle, as a front man. And I've shown you guys, if you watch my past videos, I study the CIA, I study their behavior in the intelligence community, And some of the defense contractors out there, my friends, they will use a guy like Gates. Absolutely, a man with enormous wealth and power and influence who just loves to be, he's literally a corporate media whore. He's a mainstream media whore. I can't even keep up with all the interviews this asshole does. You know, a couple days, like after this interview or after my video, I bet you a few days later he's going to do another interview. And apparently just the other day he was on Fareed Zakaria, I believe, on CNN. You guys know, if you know anything about lamestream media and corporations on lamestream media, and you know the behavior of lamestream media and all the lies that come out of lamestream media, so many, right, that I forget what I was going to say about lamestream media, my friends. Oh, that, you know, CNN is just U.S. State Department, CIA. It absolutely is. So much American propaganda. So what is Gates doing, my friends? It's more propaganda, vaccine propaganda, my friends. It absolutely is. Trillions of dollars to be made if they can mandate every person to have to take vaccines. Just think about that, my friends. Even those of you that are really pro-vaccine, you know, and a lot of us, they call us anti-vaccine or vaccines people, even if we subscribe to the basics, you know, 28 vaccines, which is fair amount right there. And I mean, vaccines in general, I do not think are a good idea. But let's say you subscribe to even just the basics, the 28 vaccines. People call you, oh, you're an anti-vacciner just because you won't get the 78, right? And not only 78, this guy, Robert Kennedy, will tell you, my friends, and other people, that it's not just 78 they want. Down the pipeline, they want 300 vaccines coming down, my friends. Yeah. It's outrageous and it's evil. I mean, again, guys, there's been so many injuries with vaccines, and again, we're going to get into that in a moment a little bit, but, well, let's get into it now a little bit, my friends, without identifying all the specific injuries. I mean, they're countless, okay? The bottom line, our bodies were meant to fight. We have, what is it, over 100 trillion, maybe over 300 trillion, I think, viruses in our body, my friends. I think it's over 300 trillion. Okay? Our bodies and our immune system is designed to fight viruses. Okay? And I understand the rationale in 1962 to have vaccines. They didn't know very much about the immune system back then either, guys. Okay? And yes, the measles that saved, you know, there'll be a couple hundred deaths every year if you never had the measles vaccine. But now they're finding out, for example, the strains, and this often will happen, I'm sure, with all the kinds of vaccines, my friends, and you're going to see the numbers where in the future where they're already suspecting, or they know, pardon me, that there's another strain to do with the measles. So people that have had vaccines with the measles, they're starting to be able to actually spread another strain to other people. But I'm not a scientist. I don't want to get into all this, my friends. But having the measles vaccine, I don't think it's the end of the world. It's, in some ways, it could be a good thing. Again, it saves a certain amount of lives there. But we know the ingredients of vaccines. It's horrendous. You got mercury. You got all these terrible chemicals often associated with vaccines. But again, I'm not a scientist. I don't want to discuss too much of that in my video today, my friends. A lot of you guys probably know that kind of information. Okay? But what most people don't look at, even people that criticize Bill Gates, and I'm glad you guys out there are seeing a little bit of for what it is, right? This guy couldn't even keep viruses out of Windows, and now he wants to keep viruses out of our bodies. He wants to safeguard my life, your life, and your children's lives. This guy's a con man. We can't trust him. And just as importantly, if not more importantly, we can't trust elements of the CIA and the defense contractors that would be behind him, my friends. Again, some of the petro-Nazi, American, British misanthropic money whores out there, some of the petro-oligarchs, the kleptocrats, because there's a lot of liars, and militarized warmongers, they are behind Bill Gates, my friends. They absolutely are. And it's always that way. It always comes down back to elements of the military-industrial complex often, my friends. They want chaos. There's still some good people, a lot of good people in the military. Don't get me wrong, my friends, but I'm talking about the shadow groups. I'm talking about and we're going to discuss the things that Bill Gates doesn't discuss. Like the deep state shadow government, my friends. The groups within the deep state shadow government, that's who's putting out Bill Gates, guys, right? Absolutely. And this jerk, do you notice has he ever talked in any serious way about the deep state shadow government? No, he doesn't say a peep about it, my friends. He doesn't tell you the power players in our world today. And there's a lot he's still left out of the loop. I mean, this guy, he doesn't even know much about the real secret space program and doesn't talk about it. He could do some research on it, though. He could spend a hell of a lot of money and find out. What I found out, you guys know I know a lot of information. I'm still digging in on all kinds of information that's vital to our society, my friends, that has to do with space. For example, the free energy generation propulsion systems for military UFOs. That will transform our world, my friends. That's free energy. And I've talked about it in great detail in past videos, and we're going to do it again. But the point is, do you ever hear Bill Gates having an intelligent discourse discussion on these important topics? No! That shows you right there, my friends, that he's a dirty, dirty player and working for elements of the CIA, I'm convinced. He might as well be a CIA puppet, my friends. Absolutely. Kind of like, he reminds me of Elon Musk that way, Bill Gates does, my friends. Because I've shown you Elon Musk is just another CIA puppet. Got an $800 million loan from the government. So, so here we go, my friends. Why does Gates have his hands in so many of these areas? It doesn't even make sense, guys. Unless, again, it's all for your corporate ethos. Unless you know that these power players, these evil guys behind the scenes, they don't care about humanity, or they wouldn't be pushing global vaccines. They wouldn't be using a guy like Bill Gates, the slimeball, to push out global vaccines. If they really cared about humanity, because they know all about the injuries and the lawsuits. I mean, come on. Everybody knows, right, that the government, or most people know, the government even back in the day, the vaccine companies were being sued so much, right? Hundreds of billions of dollars, I think it was, every year. They had the court, you had at least 12 to 15 court filings every day going on, that they literally had to go to the government, and they basically said to the government, we can't do this anymore. You create the vaccines, because we're getting sued left, right, and center, right? And unfortunately, the government, the good government, whatever, rolled. All the government basically did, unfortunately. They rolled. And they said, okay, well, I don't know why I said good government. But anyway, the government rolled and they said, okay, we'll allow you to, you do your vaccines and we'll make sure that you can't get sued. Can you believe it? That's what's on the books, my friends. The vaccine companies can't get sued. I mean, it's so outrageous. That is absolutely absurd. So why would vaccine companies, how are they going to have, there's no incentive to have noble intentions, right? Of bringing out truth and transparency very much on vaccines when you can't be sued. And we know, there's a lot of greed and evil groups, my friends, associated with pushing out vaccines. We know all the egregious lies over the years and the cover-ups. And it still goes on, my friends. And poor innocent kids, people of all ages, have been injured. And many have died, my friends, because of vaccines, okay? It's just crazy. It absolutely is, my friends. We have got to get our power and sovereignty back, right? Over our bodies, my friends. And vaccines is not going to do it. That is not trying to get our power and sovereignty back by pushing global vaccines for the world and not talking about the other important issues. This is what Bill Gates is doing, my friends, right? Vaccines, vaccines. I'll never forget when I looked on TED Talks on his speech, how many views he got. This idiot got 26 million views, apparently, to watch him on TED Talks. Now, I hope not every single person agreed with what Gates had to say, but I'm sure a lot of them are supporters of Bill Gates. That's the propaganda, my friends. That's the mind distraction. That's the psyops. That's the lies and the cons from this man. He's conned apparently millions of people to actually go along with a lot of his narrative. And yet we know there's another segment of the population, millions of people, that can see through the bullshit, excuse my language, that can see through his lies, right? So it's very interesting how you got such a large number that support supposedly Bill Gates. These guys got to wake up. That's my opinion, my friends. I think it's quite obvious. And that's why I'm doing this video today. And then you got the other segment, as I say, millions of people that, I mean, this guy was getting pies thrown at his face, remember, back in the day? And still, again, millions of people still hate this guy. Why is that? And why was somebody like, oh my God, what's his name? Not Forbes, but you know, the other billionaire I'm referring to. Actually, several billionaires, right? They're loved, cherished all over the world, but not Gates, my friends, right? Well, you just got to look at his history, right? I mean, the guy did so much slimeball practices in his business, my friends. He had such a monopoly on Microsoft, was doing so many egregious things, and a lot of, not all, but a lot of people in Silicon Valley, for example, to get to high positions in the high-tech fields, you know, often they will hijack the systems. It's a very dirty game, and even dark journalists will tell you so many words, right? He was a high-tech editor back in the day. He even says, I know Bill Gates inside and out. And I know this guy, I can sort of know this guy inside out because I study the shadow groups that operate behind the scenes, the deep state shadow government. I study the intelligence community, my friends, elements of the CIA that would be behind pushing Gates out with this insidious agenda, okay? So I know what's going on. It's crazy. We all can know it, my friends, okay? Do not be in denial. Bill Gates is basically a CIA puppet at this stage of his career. And again, guys, he's got all the power and money and influence, right, that you could dream of. And that's why corporate media puts him out, unfortunately, like he's on this mountaintop, that he's got such noble intentions, doing an amazing thing for humanity with vaccines. It's so wild. Corporate media, my friends, and Dark Journalist knows this too. He comes from corporate media, Dark Journalist does, Daniel, right? He tells you, I mean, come on. Corporate media, they're just influenced by his money. And again, it's the way corporate media works, my friends, unfortunately, okay? So let's not buy into the propaganda. Like I said, we can know the truth, my friends. So why does Gates have his hands in the CDC? Why is he doing this I-2020? Why does he have his hands in this huge foundation? You know, and he's got the Gates Foundation. And, you know, they don't tell you, of course, every foundation, just like the Clintons, my friends, these guys aren't giving money away. Not really. They give like 5%, and their foundations are made up to, and they get enormous amount of money and out of taxpayers' pockets as well, my friends. It's no different with Bill Gates, my friends. Okay? Do not be conned by, oh, he's just this amazing philanthropist. Excuse me, guys. I'm just going to stop my timer there. Do not be conned, my friends. Okay? And so, why does Gates have these patents on the viruses, my friends? Like I said, why does anybody have a patent on a virus? It's crazy. And you can't have a patent, of course, on something that occurs naturally, right? But you can have a patent if it's man-made, right? If it's chimeric, if it's, I said chimeric, if it's Bell-traded, right? There's Bill again. So, and this is what's going on. Remember the H1N1 flu, my friends? I believe it was found in Austria, right? And they had a patent on it 10 months before then the disease comes out, and they get a patent for the virus. Why do you have a patent on a pathogen, first of all, right? And then it was 9 months later after so you had the first documented case of H1N1 flu. Again, you had the patent before that 10 months prior. And then 9 months after the H1N1 flu, I believe it was, you had, again, a patent for, you had a patent for the virus that you're trying to create a vaccine for. I mean, and so what's going on? So why would Gates, again, guys, you got all these patents on viruses, and here's the thing. No patent has ever been issued on a virus, of course, in the first 4 to 5 years, right? I believe that's a correct statistic. And yet this guy's pushing that, oh, we got to get this vaccine, we're going to do it, hopefully, you know, all this crap. I mean, come on. And we know this whole coronavirus was engineered. Most people know that. And even if you don't, even if you think it was let out by an accident, I mean, there's so much evidence to support that it was man-made. But let's say even that it was man-made, but it was released accidentally. It really doesn't matter either way, my friends, right? The bottom line is we've seen this global shutdown. Gates has always supported that we at least shut down for at least 3 months or maybe even a year and all this crap. This guy meanwhile, he gets to sit on his yacht. You think this guy cares about humanity? This guy's got glee. The fact that we got to shut down the global economy. He doesn't care, my friends. He's never shown that he's really cared about humanity. And here's one of the reasons why, guys. Not only is it's just total evil what he's doing, my friends. Again, there's a lot he's not telling you. And why would you have patents on all these viruses? That's very suspect. I hope you guys would agree, right? I think that's quite obvious. And again, it's all first corporate cronies. But why is Gates not talking about the missing trillions, my friends? Right? The missing trillions from the U.S. federal government that I get into, that I've discussed in great detail, and I believe I was censored on one of my videos too, my friends. I've told you guys that in the past, unfortunately. I hope YouTube will get their act together and stop censoring some of my videos. I love YouTube. But I digress. So why is Gates not talking about the missing trillions? The $21 trillion, for example, missing since 1998. And it's a lot more than that, but that's the hard figure that was reported, my friends. Catherine Austin Fitts got that hard number established with the help from Professor Skidmore and his grad students scrolling through all the documents, the U.S. federal government. That's right, my friends. And 21 trillion, that was only from HUD and DOD. That doesn't even include other elements of the U.S. federal government, so it'll even be more than that. $21 trillion. And now Catherine's estimated we've got $60 trillion in assets, at least, shifted out of North America, my friends. $60 trillion. I know it's hard. It's hard to even contemplate, guys. This is how corrupt the U.S. federal government is. And again, the elements of the CIA, the NSA, the NRO, that some of the defense contractors out there, they're responsible largely, my friends. Okay? And they've corrupted a lot of congressmen. Even Catherine will tell you every congressman has a control file on them. Okay? I know, it's crazy, but it's true. But back to Bill Gates, my friends. Bill Gates, skinny Bill Gates, should be talking about the missing trillions from the U.S. federal government. Don't you guys agree? Why isn't he talking about that? Can you imagine if Bill Gates would have some intelligent discourse talking about the theft that is completely off the charts, like I just said, of the U.S. federal government? Why not talk about the black budget, where all the hundreds of billions of dollars every year of covert economic crime cash flows they use, as I've shown you guys in my videos, to fund largely military UFO flying programs, the amazing technology, the covert weaponry of space that we know we have going on, particularly the United States, and Russia and China are doing much the same. Why is Gates not talking about those important, vital issues for our society, my friends? Why is he not trying to bring truth and transparency on these issues? Why doesn't he look into it? Because, my friends, he's just a puppet. He doesn't care. He's all about getting trillions of dollars, hopefully, for his corporate ethos. But we're not going to allow him. We are not going to allow him, my friends. I believe, and this is why I'm doing this video today too, my friends, to try to hopefully put out positive energy this way, my friends. We cannot allow it. We will not allow him and his corporate cronies to be successful in these global vaccines, my friends. We have to be steadfast and strong. I believe we will be, my friends. Too many people know the dirty game that Bill Gates is playing, my friends. Even though most people don't dig deep like I do into the essence of who this idiot is, although more people are, I guess what I'm trying to say is most people do not study the CIA, and they should. We need a whole new awareness campaign over the United States intel agencies. And Dark Journalist knows this very well. I really believe we do, my friends. Because again, the corruption is absolutely off the charts. And the CIA wasn't even formed as part of the U.S. Constitution. They're largely unconstrained, out of control, my friends. And anybody who looks at them just even a little bit knows that. Okay? We'll find out. So, And here's Elon Musk. Again, my friends, I swear, Elon Musk and Gates, you know, they have so much in common in a way. Even though Gates has nothing to do with space, you know, probably knows very little about the real information to do with the defense contractors and the military. Gates, because he's just a skinny computer nerd. But he's very similar to the CIA puppet Elon Musk. And again, guys, they don't talk about the other important issues that they should be discussing, which is the missing trillions. How about growing a culture and society, therefore, to sustain ethical leadership? Let's get those trillions of dollars back on the budget, at least most of it. And there's ways to do it, guys. But these two are not making any effort in doing that. And that shows you right there, guys, their intentions, right? It shows you that, and they're just evil. I really believe that. So I think I'm going to go, my friends. I think I just wanted to cover a little bit of area today with Bill Gates. And believe me, my friends, we're going to get more into it on future videos. I promise. Okay? Because this is so important. Gates is a dirty player, my friends. I mean, come on. Again, who creates vaccine, gets all these patents for vaccines? That's dirty, my friends. He has no noble intentions. And again, one last thing, my friends. This is so wild. I learned this from the likes of Dr. Shiva, I believe it was, and or Dr. Buttar. Two amazing doctors doing great work, exposing Gates and Fauci, or whatever his name is, and the other dirty players out there. But, you know, there's been over 12 to 13,000 studies on the different coronaviruses over the years, my friends. Ever since 1968. 12 to 13,000 studies. And yet it's only been the last 4 to 5 years where suddenly you've got these patents for coronaviruses. I mean, guys, the timing is so suspect. It tells you everything right there. Gates knew this was going to happen. I remember, guys, what was it, 2015, he famously said on his 6.5 minute TED Talk that I mentioned earlier, he famously said that he was predicting there was going to be a pandemic that was going to happen. Absolutely. He knew it was coming down the pipeline. He knew his corporate cronies were up to no good with setting this in motion, and that he knew that Bill Gates chose to be the front man for it, my friends. He's choosing to lie to you guys. He's choosing not to talk about the other important issues. Get off this global vaccine, being a whore for corporate media. If you're going to be a whore on corporate media, Bill Gates, then goddamn well talk about the black budget, which is the lion's share of the economy, by the way, guys. Absolutely it is. Talk about the missing trillions, in other words, stolen, man. Talk about continuity of government, you idiot, right? Again, I did a whole video on COG, continuity of government, guys, the deep state shadow government. We're going to do more again. And Gates never talks about it, my friends. That tells you everything right there, that he's a dirty player, my friends. A guy in his position, I meant to say earlier, can you imagine if Gates talked about the black budget, military UFO flying programs, trying to get our divine right for this free energy finally, my friends? Can you imagine if Bill Gates talked about the cover-up in a real intelligent way that it's been going on for 70 years largely, my friends? Can you imagine if Gates in his position, again, would try to bring truth and transparency on all these missing trillions of dollars that we know has been stolen, again, out of the U.S. federal government, guys? And he could talk about the other sovereign nations like Russia and China and their black budget as well, and stealing money out of taxpayers. This asshole, sorry, I thought I was going to end the video earlier, but this guy never talks about all the gouging that the CIA have done and the defense contractors, how they've gouged so much money out of his American taxpayers' pockets. Right, guys? He never talks about it. It's unbelievable. You never hear a peep of him talking about Lockheed Martin and them scamming U.S. taxpayers, or I should say elements of Lockheed Martin, because there's still a lot of good people within the defense contractors. Don't get me wrong, my friends. But the defense contractors, the likes of Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, we all know they're largely have been divorced from any encumbered responsibility and accountability, guys, for decades. Okay? And it's about time we make them accountable. I've said that before, my friends. And Bill Gates should be talking about it. But he's just a computer nerd and a CIA dirty player, my friends. That's what he is. Okay? And he's been very successful because, His whole goal was to be the richest man in the world. You don't get to be the richest man in the world unless that's your goal. But his goal is not to help humanity, my friends. And I think it's quite obvious and you can see it, okay? But we got to keep talking about it. We have to keep exposing him and reaching out to more and more people. And people that are pro Bill Gates, that support this jerk, we got to get them to wake up and change their viewpoint, hopefully. First of all, have those people accept the information. And then, yes, it's up to them. It's up to each and every one of you to decide, you know, hopefully this information, first of all, appeals to your intellect. Hopefully you understand the importance of shunning these dirty players, that global vaccines is not the way to go for society. It's not going to help humanity. It's going to be totally opposite. And that microchipping people, of course, is totally evil. You know, all this surveillance that they want to do, that's evil, my friends. Can you imagine kids having to have tattoos put under their skin? For what? I mean, it's ridiculous. Obviously, there'd be a revolt. Parents would never go for that, my friends. But in their crazy minds, just like Bill Gates, my friends, and he's got quite a few supporters for some reason still to this day, they think they can do it. They actually think they can pull this off in the years to come, my friends, or even the next year or so. I mean, this is why we got to stand up, my friends, like I said, and we got to call them out and call the truth on this. And by the way, guys, did you know hijacked is the word. Of course, there was a hijacking, I'm glad, of the Bill Gates Foundation, and they've got lots of information and much more information that's going to come out in the near future. And they've already found out, of course, there's a lot of bribes. There's been a lot of unethical and illegal activities in the Bill Gates Foundation, a lot of money exchanging, a lot of lies. Again, guys, and there's so much more, I believe, information that's going to come out. Bill Gates is wanted for tribunals around the world in different countries, my friends, right? He was even had pictures taken, of course, because he's just loving it, putting vaccines in little kids' mouths. I mean, it's just crazy, experimenting on poor people around the world. And you even have some African government officials, you know, that are courageous and will tell you that they think it's evil too. They know it's not good for their people what this idiot is doing. I mean, it's just, and again, my friends, it's not just Bill Gates. It's the people behind the curtains that are putting him out. And he's letting himself be used as a commercial dangle. He's chosen to do this, my friends. That's why he needs to be accountable. It's all a choice that Bill Gates has done, my friends. But I mean, if he really wanted to, he could end what he's doing. He could change his mind. He could change his behavior and start instead fighting for our freedoms, my friends. This guy is not fighting for our freedoms. Again, he's a con man, and it's all about this big business plan. And we'll get into that in future videos, my friends. I learned from the great Dr. Shiva out there, who's doing amazing work, showing you this business model. It's very sophisticated, these people and what they're doing, my friends. And we cannot be fooled, okay? It's trillions of dollars to be made for these global vaccines, and it's not going to help humanity at all. If it were to know it, my friends, we can fight this, and we will be successful. But we've got to talk about it, my friends, and we got to be hyper vigilant, right, and focused, okay? And we will make a positive, transformative paradigm shift in our thinking, and ultimately we will make a societal shift, my friends, I believe, and we will expose Bill Gates, and he will have to be accountable. He's going to be accountable either right here on our precious planet or when he dies, my friends. Okay? Just like everybody else. All of us, my friends. We got to do the right thing here, okay? Thanks, guys, so much for listening, everybody. I really appreciate it, guys and gals out there. Hope you'll subscribe, give me the thumbs up, leave a comment, share my videos. Let's grow this channel. I really want to take it to the next level. It means a lot to me. I hope you guys concur that I have a lot of value to share with humanity in my own unique way and style. I'm trying to be intellectually honest with my work, and I am. I'm trying to be bold, honest, open, and true, guys. I hope you can feel it, and I hope you can hear that today. Thank you so much, my friends. More great videos to come, and we will expose Bill Gates more, God willing. Take care, everybody. See ya. Bye.